That's it. All packed up, ready to go. Third time's a charm. I've been planning this trip for a while. The first time was in 2020 and COVID hit, so there went that. And then a few months ago in February, I left on this trip the second time and got sick the first night, had to turn around with a fever and drive home the next morning. This is the third time, and I'm really hoping it is a charm. But before I drive out the driveway on this cross-country trip to visit historic homes, and these are houses I've already visited. 20 years ago, I started shooting pictures for my mantelpiece book. I shot only interiors. I wasn't thinking about the exteriors at that time. But now I realize that in my mantel book, I want to be able to draw attention and draw parallels between the exterior architecture of a home and the interior architectural style of the mantelpiece. So I'm going back to a lot of houses, and I'm really excited about it because I've learned in my life, I've lived long enough to learn this, that a lot of times when you go back and you re-experience something, you discover that the things you learned 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago weren't exactly accurate. Research changes. Your research, your understanding of what happened and what went into that home, and definitely the research of the homes themselves, all of that has been upgraded substantially. And I want to make sure that the information that I include in my book is accurate and up to date. But before I drive out the driveway, there's one thing I want to show you all, and it's going to kind of play a role in a lot of these homes that we go and visit. Let me show you something. It's right over here. This is my firewood shed. It's really ordered. This area here is the firewood that we stocked in here last year to burn next year. And this area here, this bin in here, was this year's firewood, and I burned all that up. And this area over here is all kindling. So it's pretty ordered. But what I want to show you is a different order entirely. Check this out. This whole structure is based on an order. You might call it the firewood shed order or the lean-to order. There's your entablature or beam or header. Here's your column or post. And this entablature runs all the way across the shed and supports all of these rafters in here. We're going to be running across the country and seeing historic homes and with a different kind of entablature and column. We'll be seeing Greek and Roman kind of styles, the Tuscan, the Doric, the Ionic, the Corinthian. But the word order means a header and a couple of posts, a post and beam structure, a trabeated structure, a lintel and two posts. That is an order. Let me show you another order. There's the pole barn order. There's a post and a post and a post and two posts inside of my metal shop over there and a big header running across the top of it. Let me show you another style of order, and it's right behind you. There's a post and a post and a header across the top. That's really a decorative truss. The actual header that's supporting that gable end is inside the ceiling, but that header that's decorative and as a truss is meant to resemble a Craftsman style detail that I saw in the Gamble House down in Pasadena, California years ago, and I copied it. So really, this would be the Craftsman Order, or maybe the Green and Green Order. We have been building shelter using order post and beam structures for thousands and thousands of years, from the original lean-tos to shed roofs to gable roofs. Everything's been based on post and beam order, except for the homes that were designed by one architect. We're not going to see too many of his homes on this trip. There's quite a few in my mantelpiece book. There's probably 1, 2, I think 3, 4 of them in my mantelpiece book. 3 of them that were built kind of without order. One in particular, and that's Frank Lloyd Wright. I won't be visiting the Falling Water House on this trip. If you want to learn more about Frank Lloyd Wright, you could either Google him and look him up on Wikipedia, or if you're patient, you can wait until 2023 when my book on American mantelpieces is published. I think I've talked about Order enough, and I better get in my van and get going or I'm never going to get out of here. So the next stop, Tucson, Arizona. See you there. Come on, Sassy, let's go.